Anyways, I say go ahead and try for this one, because when you're in a much larger, even if you're in Eastern Washington, you can say you're from Seattle. It's the large area that we are from. Do you want to go to Gonzaga, Northwest, PLU, St. Martin's, or Whitworth? I know a lot of you are interested in all those colleges. So this is a great scholarship to apply for. It is competitive. I think that you guys have strong opportunities to get to it.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Yes.
With the Act 6 scholarship.
Yes.
So, although like the Act 6 itself is like, for those Washington schools, when you do get it, or like if you make it to like phase 3, or even past phase 2, or like if you get to phase 2, depending on what school you go to, you will get like they'll give you a certain amount of money, a certain amount of scholarship reward or whatever it is. And actually, what I found out is that they have like Access has like a connection with other scholarships in other states. So if you have the Access scholarship, or like if you make it through certain phases, and you even go outside Washington to different states, depending on the school you go to, they can award you some scholarship money based on you being part of the Access. So like it's not just for Washington too.
Yeah.
You can get it outside of Washington.
Yeah, this is the Tacoma Seattle one, but it definitely, just like Philip was saying, they offer this scholarship for many different areas: Chicago, Indianapolis, Minnesota, Portland, Spokane, Yakima Valley. So I encourage you guys, if you're interested in those schools, to check it out. It is definitely a harder scholarship to apply to, but it's a good one. Well, I will include all of these links in the comment section of the video, the recording when I post this on YouTube. So if you need to go back and refer to what was those scholarships people were telling me about, the links will be posted there. And I'm sorry that the video will be missing the first part of this. All right, so we've talked about some scholarships. You guys gave some feedback. I'm really impressed by that. Thank you so much. I want to do a bit of housekeeping. 3 people who are in this room are currently missing their draft personal statement. I think you know who you are. I will probably send you guys some messages in a minute privately and let you know. But you want to get those in and get those read by people. So coming up, we're going to have, we really only have 2 things that are going to be due. They're going to be due next week by Monday at 11:59 p.m. They're going to be your final personal statement and your past, present, and future essay. And so I'm going to introduce what the past, present, and future essay is right now. And we'll talk more about it tomorrow or on Thursday, but it's a 1-page double-spaced essay that highlights what you have done to prepare for college, what you're currently doing, and what your college plans are. Highlight how you plan to accomplish these goals. So it's your plan. It's your high school and beyond plan put into essay format. You do some reflection into the past, which is why we spent all that time looking back at the things that you've already done, looking at the things that you've been successful at, that you struggled with. That's why we've also focused on what you're currently doing and then your research for your future. So that essay is coming up. Okay. That's coming up, and your final draft is coming up. These are both short essays. Of the 2, if I was going to say which one do I want to have the most perfect, the most beautiful, the best more people have looked at it and so forth, definitely your personal statement. I mean, both of these should be able to get done pretty easily. And your plan is very important. I'd love it to be well written, especially for you seniors, because you'll be turning that in as part of your portfolio. But the one that has the biggest stakes for you is your personal statement, because that's what you're going to be using to send to colleges and scholarship boards. And you can do that Allie can be doing that with her personal statement when she finds some scholarships available for 13 and over, which is, there's a whole group of scholarships that are like for students 13 and over, there's opportunities to earn money. So that's why we're putting all the focus on that personal statement, because it goes to outside just us. But having that plan written down is really important. And on that note, I want to make it easier for you guys to develop your plan. So, can you see the graphic organizer here that I have up? Okay, cool. We're going to spend a few minutes now during class with you guys putting together the things that you've already learned about yourself, right? You've already done your college search. You've selected 3 colleges that you're interested in and found information about that. Pop one of them, your current favorite, the one that's most intriguing, the one Jeannie says, where do you want to go? This is the school you say you want to go to. Pop that one over here. Throw in like the name of the college and then all this kind of information. This is template information. If you missed part of it and you have something else that you want to put in this section, go for it. Over here is how we're going to pay for it. That's an important part of our plan, right? When we're planning for college, knowing that we can get into it, that's on the left-hand side, knowing that we can pay for it. Because there's a lot of schools that many of you can probably get into that it'll be a lot more challenging to finance. But there's options, right? Did any of you guys hands up or say in the chat or shout out, who went to Sebastian's workshop yesterday on financial aid? Jade did, Veronica did. Anyone else? Xavier did, Quinn, I hope. Allie? Good. Courtney? Christina? Great. So hopefully in that thing, he talked to you guys about the FAFSA forecaster. You guys started thinking about, am I going to qualify for a Pell Grant? What is a Pell Grant? How much money is a Pell Grant? Pell Grant's about $6,000 right there. That's free money from the federal government. Hopefully he talked to you about the Stafford loans. Those are government loans at low interest rates available to college students. Did he tell you the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized? Or do you know that? Can someone tell you what a subsidized loan is? No interest while in college. Thank you, Xavier and or Quinn. You guys paid attention. So a subsidized loan means the government is subsidizing or supporting that loan by paying your interest on it while you're in college. You don't need to make any payments or accumulate interest until 6 months after you graduate. So if you borrowed a total of $5,000, 6 months after you graduate, you will only owe $5,000. An unsubsidized loan means you're accruing interest as you borrow the money. So if you borrow $1,000 as a freshman and then $1,000 as a senior, when you go to make your payments back, you will owe not $2,000, but you'll owe all the interest that occurred on that freshman loan for those years that you were studying. And then your senior part of the loan, you'll only owe from that year of interest. So does that make sense to you guys a little bit, how those loans can grow while you're in school still? So those unsubsidized loans are a really great resource. It's a low-cost way of borrowing some money, of investing in yourself. Just like I borrow money from the bank to buy a house because it is a better investment for me than just renting. You're investing in you guys. You're borrowing money to invest in yourself because you know that you will have a more enjoyable career and earn more money and have more stability with your education. Plus, it's something that's important to you to be educated. Okay, so federal aid, that's the federal aid, that's loans. Washington state aid. Can anyone tell me what kind of aid you can expect from Washington state? Who here has the WASFA. Courtney, the WASFA is filled out for people who are not able to fill out the FAFSA. Usually people whose documentation or immigration status is more temporary or not as complete as the federal government mandates. Washington State wants to ensure that all students who live in Washington have the opportunity for higher ed. So they offer a special form for you to fill out called the WASFA. I'm probably saying that wrong. So you would either fill out the FAFSA or the WASFA. You don't fill out both. So there is the, oh, blanking on. Guys, Hanya, what's that scholarship that you fill out in junior high for? College Bound, that's it. College Bound scholarship. So if you applied for the College Bound in middle school, that covers the cost of tuition, fees, and some books at a Washington State public school. It does not cover dorm and stuff, but that's what Pell Grant's for, right? This is the Washington College Grant. It covers up to full tuition at any in-state public college or university, including community colleges and technical colleges. And the schools that they'll choose are massive. There's probably a few predatory schools that they're not going to include, but all of the Washington State public schools they'll include. Most of the private ones, PLU, they won't cover the cost of tuition there, but they'll give you some money to support you at a school like PLU or a school like St. Martin's. Eligibility is right here. This is the amount for 2021 that they'll award. So the tuition at Wazoo and UW is higher than other schools. So you can see how much money that they're giving you. I'm going to include this link in the chat so that you guys can refer back to this if you want to. There's a lot of money here. So if you qualified for this and you were going to go to, say, Eastern, they're going to give you almost $7,000 for Eastern because the cost of tuition is lower at Eastern. So this independent private four-year nonprofit school they're talking about here, that is going to be your PLUs and your St. Martin's. For-profit, that's going to be like your DigiPens. They're even covering Western Governors University of Washington. Technical schools. So you can see there's a lot of opportunity, right? People, if you're in this higher faction, you're only going to get 10% of this, so you'll get 10% of 10,000, so you get like $1,000. But it's still some free money. So if you have a family of 4, like I do, and you make under $97,000, you'll get some free money. And this is kind of like after taxed money and stuff. This is the amount of money that you actually pay your taxes on. So it's so if your parents look on their income tax and they look at the amount of money that they actually are going to be paying their taxes on after all of their deductions and so forth, that's the amount of money that you're looking for right here. It's your taxable amount of income. Is that helpful to you guys? Yay or nays? Hopefully that kind of gives you ideas on how to finance your education, gives you an idea of what kind of free money you can automatically expect from the government. Washington State's pretty generous on what they'll give you. So some of you will get tuition covered, and some of you will have another $6,000 from your Pell Grant and have the option for loans, and then scholarships that you hope to have to cover the cost of attending school. So these are these two things. These are our nuts and bolts. And then I want to get into the kind of more metaphysical. Remember when we listened to the video of the woman who helped kids get into Ivy League schools and George was talking to us? There's a real importance in your passion project. This is not just because it looks good in a college application, but it helps you figure out who you are and what you value and what's important to you. So think about something that's important to you. It could be something like a cooking blog, or a YouTube channel where you go over different ways of doing makeup because that's what's important to you, that's what excites you. It could be a podcast where you talk about race and issues that face Latinx students in rural areas, or how even progressive Washington can feel very uncomfortable to some people. It could be a service project where you help people learn computer skills because you're really good at that. It could be that you're going to go work with a nonprofit and you're going to update their database system because you don't like working with people so much, but you really want to help out. And so you're going to apply your technical skills to something. It can be whatever it is, but think about what's important to you. It can be part of a club, but you need to have something that you're passionate about, that you're exploring and spending time on in high school, because this can carry you on into college and for the rest of your life. It gives you experience and shows that you're working on something. And the last part is actually the part that I'd start out with. Who do I want to be when I grow up? Not what do I want to be, not what career do I hope to have, but what kind of person do you want to be? Vision yourself in the future, right? What kind of person is that? I had a student who really wanted to be an airplane pilot, and we started talking about what do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? And what he really wanted to do was have a nice house, have a fun job, have a cool wife, and a couple of kids and maybe a dog. And if he was an airplane pilot, he would be traveling an awful lot. He wouldn't be home very often. And he realized that that's not a kind of career path that he wanted to go into because he wanted to have more time to spend with his family. And so last I heard, he's looking at trying to get into a nursing program. And because he thinks as a nurse that he would have the ability to help people, and also the ability to, be home and have a family. So figure out what's important to you and the kind of person that you want to be, who you want to be when you grow up, and everything else follows from there. So I'm going to give you guys until 2:50, 2:45. I'm going to give you 15 minutes to start doing this. I'm going to do share. Okay. And then I'm going to go into the chat. All right. So here's the link. Everyone's got a name on their page. You have 15 minutes. Hop on in and fill out as best as you can what you have here, this graphical organizer. And then we're going to come and share back out at 2:45. Sound good? Okay. Okay, I heard that some people are having trouble with being able to edit. So I've changed it so that anyone with the link can edit. I don't know if you need to follow the link a second time or whatnot, but thank you for letting me. Oh, I sent that just to Ali. Send this to everyone. Okay, so hopefully this works now. Thank you for letting me know there was an issue. I can see people are still really working, so I'm going to go ahead and give you until 2:50. So you have about 7 more minutes to finish up.
Scratch his stomach, he grabbed his paws. He tried to bite my thumb, but he came on like this. And he has no teeth here or here.
Okay, can we all come back now, please? I hope that that was enough time for you guys. I know it probably wasn't as much as you might have wanted. If you didn't get finished, that's okay. But I thought now would be a great time to circle back on up and we can go through each slide and have people kind of share their slides with us. So we're actually going to go the opposite direction since before we start with the Allie today, now we're going to start with Xavier. So Xavier, would you mind popping on and talking about what college you were looking at and anything else that you have for us?
We are suffering severe technical difficulties. Can you hear us?
I can.
Okay, cool. So I don't know why, but it said the average GPA was 4.14. And so it also talked about unweighted GPA and weighted. Quinn said it was just bunch of tryhards going for extra credit. But I don't know.
What school are you looking at?
Yale.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I didn't get
probably a weighted GPA. So it's 4.14 because students are taking AP classes. And so that's how they're able to get a higher GPA. You can actually get like a 5.0 on a weighted scale. But Shelton doesn't weight grades. They only do unweighted at Shelton. So
Oh, okay.
you're okay. Don't worry.
I don't know. Application opens September. That's coming soon. Priority deadline. It just said it was the regular deadline. They didn't have like a late application. So it's just January, I guess. Essay prompts like, why do these areas of study appeal to you? And what is it about Yale that has led you to apply? Those are actually pretty good essay prompts.
Yeah.
And they're only like 125 words.
Okay.
Cost of attendance is around 70,000. Tuition was 53,000. Fees are probably 3,000. Housing's probably like, I don't know, another 3 to 10.
That's okay.
I don't know. I didn't get into it.
That's okay. You know, like I said, you didn't have to fill everything out, just kind of getting an idea. You know, it's an expensive school to go every year. So did you look at all of how you would pay for it?
Yeah. So financial aid is really huge at this college. Like, if you do financial aid, it will pay for most of the college. So like, if you have a 75,000 to like an $80,000 income at your family, you'll only have to pay like 13,000 a year.
Which is still a good chunk of change.
Well, yeah, but it goes from like 70,000 to 13.
Yep.
So that's
Cost
really
of
good.
state school. That's great. I noticed the kind of person who you want to be when you grow up is an engineer. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I guess. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've always wanted to help people, and I like to help people, and I'm good at math and science, so it just seems right to do engineer. I don't know where in the engineering field, but somewhere.
I get why that would be a career for you, and I think that you'd probably be an excellent engineer. But what kind of person do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What kind of
I
Xavier
just
are
want
you?
to help people.
Just want to help people. Okay. And then speaking of wanting to help people, have you thought about a passion project at all?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, especially when you're looking at really elite schools like Yale, even though you've got the grades, you've got the smarts in the classes, having a passion project, having something that you can show that you've done, that you have interest and care about, will be really useful for you. So maybe that's something we can talk later on about, ways of helping you develop a passion project. Okay?
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Angie.
So I came late, so I didn't hear what you said to explain it, but is this coming from what I was sharing with you? The passion
The passion project, yeah, I use that wordage because it came from that video, which I did like very much. But it's something that
Oh,
we've
yeah,
talked
no, that's
about
fun.
we've talked about it many times throughout the years about like,
Yeah.
you need more than just your grades. What else are you showing? What else are you interested in? What else do you care? I like that word passion project, so I've adopted that wordage, but definitely having something to show that you've done with yourself, with
Yeah.
the resources that you have, whatever those resources might be, would be really great. All right, so Quinn, you're up next. You have nothing on here, Quinn. Are you still here?
Can you hear?
I can hear.
I'm still here, but my computer isn't cooperating lately. It
Okay.
doesn't charge while it's on, and it died overnight. So
Okay.
my brother's using the computer, and my brother's using the only computer. So
I understand. Did you
he filled out his
paper at
slide.
all?
I was here for it, but I couldn't fill out the slide.
Okay. Just
So I can actually not see the questions on it because of a technical difficulty we are having. Alt-tab.
okay.
Oh gosh.
All right. So we're running out of time a little bit, so that's okay, Quinn.
Wait, I got it.
Okay.
No, they're running out of time. So I have the answers for just about everything
Okay.
already. So,
Well, go for it.
I want to go for WW. The average GPA is 3.24. The average test score is around 1100. The priority deadline, I believe, is this fall, October 23rd. And then essay prompts, they actually don't have conventional essay prompts for a lot of their applications. They allow you just to fill in what do you think you want to do with your life, or what's a major thing that happened and changed your life. The cost of attendance depends on if you're in or out of state, but I believe it's around, oh gosh, I just lost it. I had it in my notes. One second. That's what I thought. It is 16,220 after financial aid usually.
Okay.
And then the average fees for like housing and that sort of thing depend on your package and what your financial aid are. And because I'm covered by my dad's GI Bill, it'll actually be free for me first year. And then so will the meal program. And then books will cost around, for my political science major, I think it was like 1,200. It's pretty expensive, but there's lots of books.
So we are almost out of time right now, but that's what we're going to continue on Thursday. Is going to be continuing going over this and then moving into our essay and continuing to talk about our plans for after college or after high school. So we're going to continue this forward on Thursday. So everyone who did not get a chance to finish theirs, poor Quinn, you're the one that had to go, Quinn and Xavier. But if you need to add more to yours, please go ahead and do that. These are great resources for writing your paper. I'm sure you've all done graphic organizers before, and so they're a nice way of kind of putting together some little factoids that you can use in your high school and beyond, your past, present, and future essay that we're going to start or talk more about Thursday. So one thing I'd say is put down the hard costs on the left-hand side. This is what tuition is. This is what the fees are. And then on the right-hand side, put down, I'm going to use my dad's GI Bill, and that's going to cover the cost of all this, plus my Pell Grant. So see ya, I'm covered. Or I have college bound, I had a Pell Grant. I only have this much gap here, and I've got scholarships for it, whatever that is. So kind of separate out what the hard costs are and what the soft costs, what you're actually going to end up paying or how you're paying for it. And then think a little bit more about that question about who I want to be when I grow up, because that's just as important as probably more important than the career question. It's the kind of person, it's who you want to be. What do you envision for yourself? Career is only one aspect, and your education can help you beyond just your career, right? Where you go to school, what you expose yourself to, what you learn about, it's so much more than just career. But career is important. No one wants to go to a job that they hate 40 hours, 60 hours a week for a check just because they're getting some money. We want to do things that we care about, that feed our soul, because work can be really empowering to us all. All right, it is 3 o'clock. I respect your time, and I have another meeting to go to, as does Lonnie and Philip. So I will see you guys at homework help today at 5 o'clock. So be there or be square. Okay.
Hey guys.
Bye.
See you later.